fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Check.
They'll run him now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Green the line. Two jet.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It was Anthony Averett who got him down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come back. Tiger. Come back.
3rd and 2, Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And he knocks it through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
17 yards.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
There we go.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Black 99 Philly. Here we go. Odd on. 5 down. Stand up in.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here to tough 3rd and 11.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism.
He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 35.
Leopard.
A big-time third down play for the Ravens. 43 yards.
Gun.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL.
No. Check.
When they're
Patriot.
that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they get to him quickly as he stopped right around the 13. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Now Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Griffin. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They opt to go for it, and they get it. 1st and goal after a pickup of 5.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter.
Get him, boys. Get him, boys.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Detroit!
They get it to him running left. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
5 down. Stand up in.
Hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And Tucker, the former Longhorn, puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Reset. Hey, Tiger. You got three down.
Watson on first down. Caught left side, Hopkins. And it's a fumble. And the Ravens have got it. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Black 99, feel it. This is my house, baby.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. He'll buy some time right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Black 99, feel it. Two jet.
On 1st and 10, Watson dancing to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 49. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Olivier Vernon brings him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
I absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Run to the ball. Fly to the ball. Run. Yeah, baby. Woo!
Number 60 on the run. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Switch.
On second down, here's Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Stop.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, number 8's coming. Number 8's Mike.
Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And Charles, if the season ended today and it's not going to. We still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Come back, come back.
After the run, Watson going to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Reset, reset, reset. Tight left, tight left. Alert, alert. 3 down, 3 down.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation. Allows him to get home.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Hey, boys, we got
Out of the gun, Watson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. There's some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Richmond, Richmond. 2 jet, 2 jet. 25, check 25, check 25. Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Check.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Flushed out right.
Let's go right here now.
And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Tight ends right. Black 22. Black 22. 3 down, 3 down. Come back, come back. 84. Who's got 84? Check it.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. 30. 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this 2nd half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight
Watch it
ahead,
now, Barney,
peripheral.
Barney.
Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they're actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
No, no, no.
That to Nixon on first down. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
All right, now,
Didn't
look at
happen on
56.
that play.
On 2nd down, Jackson flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides. The tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Oh, yeah. 24 is the mic. You better be afraid of me.
Here's the to Mixon. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Jackson. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tight right. All right, now, look at 56.
A handoff to Mixon. And a belly to run. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now they go to the right side here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Easy work, and it's coming again. Black 99 Philly, here we go. Watch the run.
Now Joe Mixon. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop
check,
it.
Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. And his kick is good.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Trying to get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
the line. Green the line.
Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Section 36, roll forward,
Richmond. Come back. Down. Green the line.
On 1st down, Watson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. From the gun, here's Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Two jet. Red. Green the line.
To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Eluding the pressure right. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Good gains there back-to-back for Houston in the passing game and another 1st down.
Richmond. Down.
Watson on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Tiger. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Tiger. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Tiger. Mike, 53, Mike.
And the blitz does come. Escaping the pressure right. Going deep for Hopkins. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Right here. He's tight on the right.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Tiger. Back's mine.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Wide open receiver complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Tiger. Black 99, feel it. Two jet.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And now running right through him. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend?
Richmond.
Like any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Gun!
Jackson on first down. Forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Hey. 4 down. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Another incompletion would certainly be ideal defensively. A big play now. This is 3rd and 10.
Odd. 5 down.
From the gun, it's Jackson to mix it on the check down. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
Gun! Watch him now, Barney!
Don't let him breathe!
Hot!
Don't let him breathe! Play that tight deep! Don't let him breathe, defense!
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Got 3. I got 19. Detroit! Hot!
Watch the ball.
They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
The kicker.
Exactly.
Come back,
He'll put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that will help him in contract time. You could have kicked that one. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Tiger.
Mike 52.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Come back.
Mike 52.
I got you, boy. Come back.
Hey, check 24.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also fourth down.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
Strong right. Man, I got Richmond.
Let's go. Motion.
He'll look to throw. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one.
Tight ends left. 4 down. Check. Detroit.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Right. Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Hot! 35, watch 35.
Again, it's Mixon.
Run.
Oh, now he bowls him over. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Double tight.
Odd. 5 down.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Jackson's going to throw it. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 8 on the year. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.